Last week on Motivational Moments with LaRon Barnes.
By his name, but here's my point, is that when I invested in that room, I met other people that are now helping me succeed in different areas of my life that Les Brown alone wasn't helping me with. And he helped me with his field of work. But there's other fields of work that Les Brown has. People help him as far as building business. And I needed other people to help me as well build my business. So networking, to get in a room with high-powered people, very important people, people who have influence. That's what VIP is. People who have powerful connections that can connect you with individuals to the next and level. Help you. The very first thing you must do, and my favorite book says this, it says that if you want to be great, the greatest among you will be the servant. We have to serve our way to success. When we want to be in the room, how can I add value to your business, to your organization, to your life? And when you get in the room and you begin to serve your way to success, then doors begin to open to you for you. The problem that most people have is most people come in with the give me attitude. What can I get? How can I get?
What is up, good people? It is Sunday morning. It's time for your favorite show with LaRon the Motivator. Motivational Moments. We do this every Sunday. We want to make sure that you get your week started off right. And if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So that's why we do it on Sundays. This isn't Monday motivation. It's Motivational Moments. We do it on Sunday so we can get you right ahead of time. And so last week, you saw the clip. We talked about the power of associations, getting in the room with VIPs and how they can help connect you with the people that you need to get you to the next level and whatever it is that you're trying to do. This week, we're talking about how you turn your pain into power. Can't wait for the conversation. LaRon, how you doing this morning?
Listen, I am doing wonderfully well, Andrew, man. And that title alone, turning your pain into power, I think we're going to definitely help a lot of people today, brother.
I know we're going to help a lot of people because there are a lot of people in pain. I mean, we just yesterday had the mental health town hall, and that's what it was all about. It's really helping people improve their mental health. And so when we talk about pain and we talk about, mindset and overcoming those struggles and how we can take past situations that broke us down and then turn them around so that they can build us up, that's really what it's all about. And so, LaRon, I'm just going to get off my soapbox. Talk to us about turning your pain into power. What does that look like?
Absolutely. Well, here it is, Andrew. The truth is, and we all know it to be the truth, that each and every last one of us has been experiencing or has experienced pain in some type of way. And our pain that really affects us in our adulthood comes from the trauma that we experienced in our childhood. And so being able to identify first where our pain initiated is the first step into healing ourselves and turning our pain into power. Now, Andrew, as I was thinking about my experience, I had to journal this because I was looking for why I was stuck, why I was fearful, why I was scared of success, why I didn't think I was good enough, and all of those negative beliefs about myself. And anyone who has ever thought of themselves as not being good enough, not worthy, not undeserving, typically when we feel like that, that comes with not really taking risk on ourselves, not putting our best foot forward, not taking faith and making faith moves. There's a quote that says, man's faith in God is based on the belief that he has in himself. And at one point in my life, I didn't have faith in myself. I didn't believe in myself because I was told by a secondary teacher, as some of you know, that I was ADHD, ADD, and had a learning disability. Now, in most states, Andrew, most people would have crushed. Most people would have not gotten up. Most people would believe in that belief in themselves. Some of us have been through traumatizing experience more than just being labeled. Some of us have been physically abused as children. And it has affected us and caused very traumatic results in our adulthood. And so there's many people who have been through many stories in their life, but turning your pain into power when we talk about turning your pain into power. Excuse me, I got the little light went off. Hold Give me a quick second here. Yeah, turning your pain into power. Now, when we talk about that, as I'm thinking about it, being labeled is not easy to get from under the labels. Les Brown says, I don't believe people should put labels on people. They should keep labels on jars. And going through that process, Andrew, going through the process of being in pain, having to rise up above it. One thing that I can say, the reason why I decided that I was going to be a world-class speaker and was going to change the world with my voice, because I was told I couldn't, and I didn't want to be that person they told me I couldn't be. So I fought past the pain, and now it's become my power. And you can do the same.
You know, sometimes though we feel it's just as easy as you just had a little glitch there, a little something. You know, the light went off. You just and you kept talking, and you turned it back on, and you kept moving. And so for a lot of people, that could have been pain. They could have stopped. Oh my goodness! Oh shoot! Things are messing up, right? And so there's something in your mindset that allows you to do that. So I want to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You said that in second grade, a teacher told you that you had some sort of learning disability, or you know that you wouldn't thrive in the education system.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who end up getting told negative things about themselves. But at the same time, they have people in their lives who are giving them positive affirmations. And so I'm making an assumption, but you probably have parents, maybe people at your church, people that say, LaRon, you're a great kid. You're really going to be something when you grow up, right? But you had that one negative voice. My question to you is, why is it that as people, we often will grasp hold of the negative voices a lot faster than the positive?
Well, truly, I believe, Andrew, that most of the time we don't have a lot of positive people really around us. I grew up in a very loving home, a very nurturing home, very loving mother, very loving father, hardworking father. As parents, I think we forget to affirm our children now. And it wasn't that my parents didn't think that I was smart or good, but when we verbally saying it's what I actually needed to hear. So even in the home, I wasn't necessarily hearing, hey, you're great, you're amazing, you can do anything. It wasn't consistent like we need as children, and even as adults, if we're honest. That's why a lot of our inner child, we still all have that inner child, that little kid in us that's been hurt, and we haven't healed from that trauma. So a lot of times I really wasn't affirmed at home. Not saying that I had a bad home, but unconsciously they didn't. So when I did hear from a teacher and she said that, I believed.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious. I had to ask that question because, you know, a lot of times we have to intentionally put ourselves in position to receive positive information as well as affirmations, because they don't just come automatically. And so for the person who says, you know, listen, I've got all this negativity around me. You know, my family's negative. They're negative on my job. I don't have anyone who's really pouring into me. Does that mean that they don't have any hope? Or are there some kind of tips, tools, or strategies that they can use to pull themselves up?
Listen, I want to give you 3 tips, 3 words. Number 1 is you got to fight. You have to fight. I'm going to give you all 3 of them right now. You got to fight, you got to focus, and you got to fortify your mind. See, here it is, Andrew. Even when I didn't have the people around me, one thing I did have was a vision. One thing I had was a vision where I saw myself in a greater place than where I currently was. I saw myself traveling across the world. I saw myself on the beaches with my feet in the sand. I had a vision. And so what I did was I kept my eye on the vision. And then, because I knew where my vision was, I then began to find out where the people were who were connected to my vision, and got inside of groups that were going in the same direction as me, and they had a vision. So I surrounded myself with visionaries that helped me get to where I was going.
I love that, because it's almost like dating, right? So I was having a conversation with a person at one point, and they said, like, you know, I'm trying to find my person. and they describe their person, and this person is, involved in the community and has a good heart, and they're a leader, and all of these different things, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, well, where are you looking for this person at? Like, where do you go and generally meet people? I mean, when I go to the club on the weekend, and it's not to say that people that go to the club, if you was at the club last night, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you're looking for a certain type of person, you have to go to certain places. And that's what I heard from what you said is, look, I've got a vision. And so now I need to align myself with people who have either a similar vision, a similar focus, or a similar passion for improvement. And so for someone who needs to do the same thing right now, right? How do they find those circles? How do they find those associations? Where do they go?
Business networking events. There's a few places. There's business networking events where you go to these places, honestly, to connect with individuals that have similar. Well, actually, that's one of the places. That's not the number one. Let me give you the number one place. The number one place is in workshops and seminars. Let me say that first. Workshops and seminars. Now, when you invest in workshops and seminars, that's typically where your people are. When you invest in coaches, see, it really comes down to personal development. It comes down to working on yourself. That's why the vision is so important, Andrew, because the vision shows you the direction. How do you know what you're supposed to invest in and the people you're supposed to be around if you don't even see what type of people they're going to get you there? Therefore, workshops, seminars, and then after you go to these things, invest in yourself, build yourself up, get the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding. Then you go to business networking events, particular, that may have different people there in order for you to connect with the right people to take you to the next level.
So it all starts with the vision. Then you increase your knowledge, and then you put yourself in the room. Let's go to the beginning of the vision. How does a person solidify their vision? Because there's a lot of people that I know who are multi-talented. Like, they could pretty much do anything, right? But if you try to focus on everything, you get nothing. And so how can a person narrow down their vision and be a little more direct and intentional about exactly where they're trying to go? Because you can't jump in your GPS and say, I want to go to Atlanta, Chicago, and New York. Right? I mean, maybe it'll route it out or whatever, but you get the general thought. Like, you have to have a specific direction. Yeah. But for a lot of people, it's difficult to find that specific direction because we're talented people, right? We got people, hey, I can sing, I can dance, I can do business, I can go over here and do that. How do you narrow down the vision?
Well, here's what it really comes down to. It comes down to soul searching, finding out what is in your soul. Finding out what you can't live without doing. Finding out if I left this earth without this being happening for my life because I seen it in my mind's eye, then I didn't live the life I was supposed to live. See, if you have the gift and the passion and the desire, and it can even be a calling for you to be behind the camera, because of what you produce from behind it. And it can say, you know what, I love this so much that I don't want to do nothing else in the world. I will do this because it made me feel good alone. And I can do other things because I'm gifted, but I can't die without doing this, because this work right here changes everything for me.
I like that you said that, because what's important is that you make the main thing the main thing. It doesn't mean that you can't explore and tap into some of your other talent, skills, and abilities. And though sometimes people will try to go in one direction, focus on one thing, neglect a big part of themselves, and now they feel like something's missing. And so you don't have to do that, right? If you're a multi-talented person, there's several things that you can do. Make the main thing, and everything else, you can do it here and there just to keep your spirit in line. So I love that. I love that, man.
And I want to add on to that. Go ahead. Yeah. I was going to say that this is the thing about it. Each and every last one of us are multi-talented in many different ways. Again, as you said, Andrew, keep the main thing the main thing. Your gifts, talents, and abilities work in what you're doing, but they work in other things as well. So what you do is you find out a way to use it all together. Like, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I stand on stage as a speaker. I model. I'm good behind the camera with photography. I got my own camera. I do that, but I don't put all my attention on modeling. I don't put all of my attention on photography. I focus on coaching and training, and of course speaking from stage because they're all in the same arena of speaking. But photography and modeling are different things. Videography, I've done that before. But again, the vision lets you know, yes, I'm gifted. Yes, I'm talented. Yes, people will even pay me to take pictures for them now. But I don't want to get my energy into that because I know where I'm going. I wrote it down.
I love it. Make it plain. Make it plain. Listen, audience, I apologize. Listen, for all of you that are tuning in, this conversation has gotten so good. Listen, we don't want to forget about you. So thank you for tuning in. We always appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the shares. Make sure that you share this with your network, and let this be a conversation starter, right? Don't just watch the video and go on about your day. Watch it with someone else. Have the conversation about turning your pain into power. Let's get back to the main thing, man, because that branched us off into a couple different directions. So let's get back to the pain a little bit. Man, people deal with so many things. You talked about childhood. Sometimes as adults, we experience pain. There are people that go through heartbreaks, breakups, failed marriages, divorce, loss of job, all of these different things, right? And so as an adult, sometimes we feel like the stakes are a little higher, right? When we experience that pain. And it just breaks us down in such a way that we feel that we don't have any hope. Some people, they feel the pain of even aging and having not reached their goals or dreams. They say, well, maybe it's a little bit too late for me, right? Because from this point, now I've got all this responsibility. Maybe my greatest years are behind me, or at least I feel that way. And so speak to that person that is their point of pain, that they feel like it's too late for them to reach the goals that they had long ago.
One thing I love about life is that life is never late. And neither are you. One thing I learned is that a lot of times when we really reflect on our past and when we wanted to have our future now, what ended up happening is we wouldn't be prepared to have the future in our past. So we have to be worked up into our future so that we can handle the things that God has given us. See, you're never too late. Because if you would have got this 20 years ago, would you have been as wise? Would you have been as smart? Would you have known as much as you've known? I have many friends, Andrew, bro, in their 60s. And they just started speaking, brother. Powerful speakers. But the thing about it is that as long as you got breath in your body, as long as you got life, come on, you got a story. Your life experience is your power. It's your story, the things that you've been through. See, you've been through more things than I've been through at the age of 50, 60, 40, or whatever age you are over than 35. You've been through some things, right? So therefore, it's never too late. It's never too late. Just understand that you're better now where you are doing it at that age than you would have been 20 years ago, and you can help more people.
That goes back to one of the conversations that we had a couple of weeks ago about reframing. And that's a beautiful way to reframe that, because part of a person, they say, okay, well, it's too late. But if you just reframe it into, no, actually, I've gained more experience. And so from this point forward, I can move with more power, conviction, knowledge, wisdom, understanding than I would have been able to back then. And so I love that reframing. I love that.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I think a lot of times, Andrew, we focus so much on the pain that we never come up with the solution. We focus so much on our past trauma instead of saying, you know what? Why do I feel this way? And I want to say this: when you turning your pain into power is a process, brother. You got to first identify your pain. Where did it come from? As you identify, you got to write the story out in a journal, as I talked about. And then you got to ask that journal questions. Is this true? Is this who I am now? Do I have to be this way? Do I want to be this way? And you start writing out how you want to be. Write a new future for yourself. But it's a process to turn your pain into your power. Your pain is the reason why you're powerful. No pain, no power.
That's right. That's right. You know, that's just like it was an analogy we used at the men's breakfast one time. You know, if a venomous snake were to bite you, so now you have poison running through your veins. Are you going to chase the snake down and say, why did you bite me, trying to figure out why something happened? Or are you going to focus on the medicine, right? And a lot of times we remain stuck in life because we're trying to figure out, we're replaying over and over and over. This happened to me. This happened to me. Why? Heal. Get your journal out. Write it out. Like you said, ask it questions. Is this true now? Is it true today? And allow those answers to speak to you in your now, in the present moment, and move forward. We spend way too much time in the past, way too much time. The present forward is where the magic happens.
Imagine driving looking backwards. What do you think is going to happen?
You're going to crash.
Exactly. And many people do that in life, Andrew, because they're looking backwards at the past, not focusing on the future, not looking on what's ahead. Learn from the past. Don't focus on the past. You know how you learn from the past? You look at the rearview mirror. You don't turn around.
That's it. Focus on the windshield, not the rear view.
Come on. And if you only, and if you focus, that's powerful, brother. And if you focus on the, if you only focus on the rear view mirror, what the rear view mirror does, it gives you a glimpse of where you came from. But when you turn around and drive, that's when you focus on your pain. That's when you're stuck in that point. You're stuck in excuses. You're stuck blaming people for you being where you are.
And see, and we're not saying forget your past, because if we continue on with the analogy, when you're driving, you do glance in the rear view for what? Perspective.
Yes.
That's it. Yes. Let me see how far I've come. You know, let me make sure that none of those things that are behind me are approaching me and getting so close that they affect my life in the present. But I'm focused forward. I'm focused on the windshield.
Right there.
That's it.
Oh, keep your vision. That's why the vision is so important. I'm going to add this as well. When it comes to turning your pain into power, life is going to hit you on the blind side. Remember, Murphy's Law says that anything that could go wrong will go wrong.
That's right.
And so we have to understand that our pain is the process to our power. Anytime
Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. This is good. This is good. Go ahead. I want you to finish your thought.
It's the process to the power. And so if we take on a new perspective and see, hey, this is a process to it. Yesterday, I had some things happen that didn't go so right when having a conversation with my wife, and it was pain in there. I was irritated. I was frustrated. I was like, oh God, okay, whatever. And then I said, you know what? Every time I realize that there is a disagreement, there's an opportunity for growth, but it comes down to perspective. And now things get better and better. And that's how we got to look at life. Anytime that we experience pain in life, it's a process. It's a process for me and my wife getting stronger. We're very close, but there's more. It's a process. But pain, the process to your power.
See, we've talked about pain from the past, but we haven't talked a whole lot about pain in the present, because just because you overcome your past, that doesn't mean there won't be any more pain.
Come on.
There's always, like you said, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. So can we speak a little bit about, I've overcome my past pain. I'm moving in power now, but there are new obstacles that have surfaced.
Absolutely.
How can I, in the moment, turn my present pain into power? Because that looks a little different than the past. Now, one thought, I don't want to get too preachy. I know it's Sunday morning. I'm not about to preach.
Yeah, but love it. Go ahead, Andrew.
The Bible does say that the Holy Spirit will bring things to our remembrance.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. You can't remember something that you never learned, correct?
Ooh, powerful. Yes, sir.
And so I say that to say we have to be in a continual state of learning and growing. And so, listen, I keep so many books around me. Like, it don't matter where I'm at in my. I'm telling you, it's a book close by. So I was just reading this one. Ignite. But hey, don't. Hey, we can have a book battle. Don't get to playing with man. This book's all over.
That's how you do it. That's growth.
Hey, but for real, this one is the burning secrets of exponential growth from the greatest experts on the planet. What I'm saying is, if we are continuously, because you said fortify with one of them, if we're continuously fortifying our mind, when we hit those dark times, now we have something for the Holy Spirit to help us remember.
Yeah.
But if we don't, right, we could have got past our past. Sometimes we get past our past and then we forget that we have to continue to grow and fortify ourselves. So then when pain comes in the future, we don't have any way of fighting it. And so we have to continuously add to our repertoire. We have to continuously put bullets in that chamber that's going to allow us to fight through the new obstacles. And so can you just talk a little bit about that, the importance of continuing to fortify your mind, continuing that education process?
Absolutely. Look, what you tune into, you turn into. That goes from the books you read. That goes from the television that you sources that you watch. That goes to the audibles, whatever it is. What you tune into, you turn into. And a lot of us have been tuning into negative news. A lot of us has been tuning into negative conversations. You hear what I'm saying? And so we have to, in order to fortify our mind, we got to surround our mind, our ear, give our attention to the things that we want to become. If you want to become negative, if you want to have a life with the person that you're speaking with and all they speak is negative, then that's what you're going to have because you're listening to it. See, you got to separate yourself. What do I want to do? What do I want to work on? What do I want to become? What do I want to become good at? You can tell by what I'm tuned into. Self-love for kids. I want to learn how to teach my children self-love. What I want to learn, I'm reading a book called Heal. Help elevate and learn. Because I want to elevate my mind because my mind, my life is a reflection of my mind. And your life is a reflection of your mind. If you have riches, and joy, and happiness, and peace, and even in finances, it's because your mind has been elevated. And that comes with education and application.
Man, listen, I don't want the show to be over. But we try to keep it at 30 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Hey, for those of you that are tuning in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate the likes, the comments, the shares. Listen, we love y'all. Okay. And so, like we said, we want this to be a conversation starter. This isn't the end. You want to share this with your network. If you want to catch up on the past motivational moments, you can go to our YouTube channel at Elevating Men. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss anything that we do in the future. And so we have 1 minute left. 1 minute left. LaRon, I'm going to put your website on the bottom of the screen. I want you to tell people what they can find and really why they should visit the website and potentially book a session with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, as it's coming up, transformation. If you are an individual who is looking for transformation, looking for change, looking for your life to be different, that's what I'm here for. I actually care about your success. I want you to have all that God has called for you to have. If you're dealing with overwhelm, stress, low self-esteem, doubt, procrastination, stagnation, can't get yourself to move, I've been there. I've had people like Andrew in my life. And when you go to the website, you can set yourself up for a free session. Let's connect for 20 minutes. Find out where you are, where you want to go. If you are and have a school that you have children, your youth. I love speaking to the youth. Let me add that as well. I speak at schools, elementary, middle, high, well, mainly middle school and high schools. But if you need me to come out to your school to speak on communication, talking about their future, passion, and purpose, I can come out and I want to speak to your children. I want to speak to your youth. You hear me? Or if you just want somebody to come in, motivate, inspire, get your team riled up, not just riled up, but ready to take action, book me on LaRonDBarnes.com on my website, LaRonDBarnes.com, www.LaRonDBarnes.com, or reach out to me on Facebook at LaRon the Motivator. I definitely look forward to hearing from you. Let's go.
Listen, you heard it from the man himself. You see, follow LaRon the Motivator on Facebook, right there on your screen, right below that, LaRonDBarnes.com. Take advantage of the offer. It's free. And listen, listen, I know what the brother can charge because I know about the industry. So you better take that free session. All right. LaRonDBarnes.com. This has been Motivational Moments. We want to see you back with us again next week, same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 Sunday. We get you ready for the week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.